Okay, I'm back on here again. I gotta reshoot this. I apologize. I was gonna try to do this whole thing without any edit or anything, but I done lost the footage. So I gotta reshoot this. But anyway, let's pull these valve covers. Okay, take a look down in there. And also, I screwed up. I did. When I first shot this and I was describing this, I made a common mistake. And I didn't know I'd made that mistake till my dad came in. And he took one look at it and he corrected me on it. I'll show you where my mistake was. Okay, take a look down there. See how cruddy and nasty and gross that is. That just looks super nasty. Well, yeah, I when I was doing this the first time and I was talking about it, it's like, oh crap, this thing is sludged up, nasty, didn't have any oil changes, all of that. I made all my comments about it. And my dad came in, took one look at it, and said, yeah, no big deal. And then he said the golden word. They all look like this. This is before detergent oil. And as soon as he said that, it clicked. He said, don't worry about it. They all look like this, sometimes way worse, because this is back before they had all the cleaners and stuff inside of the oil. This was just basically almost crude oil that they were running in them. So they all do this. Oh, I couldn't believe it. He said, it's not hurt at all. They all look like this. So on these old motors, when you get into, and it's something I know, I just it's been so long since I pulled one in and pulled it down like this, and it just one of those brain fart moments, and you just forget everything you're supposed to know. And Dad, like I said, yeah, no problem. Anyway, got a little bit of extra valve lash on some of these, which is very, very common. Like I said, it's a solid lifter cam, so you always have to adjust these. Well, maintenance on a car, even to this day, is way overlooked. So you know that this was always overlooked. What I'm looking at here, like I said, this I know is going to be sloppy. What I'm looking at is this here, the play in here. But these rockers actually look and feel pretty good. All of these should spin. That one don't. But it looks like it's opening that valve. So that one might still be okay. Actually, I think I felt it start to turn there. Again, that one's, see, it's opening that valve right now, so there's tension on it. That one's got a lot of slop in it, but she spins. M2 are in overlap, so, oh, there it goes, it's spinning. Yeah, gotta watch the camera. That's a good sign. Then we open up this side. Yeah, I gotta catch them now. And again, see it all sludged up like that? Don't get discouraged because they all look like that. I was such a dumbass for doing that. And honestly, I wanted that footage in there I want to show my mistakes. Oh, look at that. Look at how much play is in that one. A lot. Still feels pretty good. Oh, that one's got a little bit on the rocker shaft. It's moving there a little. So I definitely have to clearance them. See how much? That's what happens when you run them without adjusting them for a while. That's got way too much valve lash in it there. But anyway, go through, and yeah, this side feels real good. All of them spin. And this one, there's something missing. The guy I got this from said number 4 back here had a problem. Well, I know what the problem was now. Kind of missing a push rod there. Hopefully, it's laying down in the valley there. And it hasn't mangled up and twisted up and caught around in there. Hopefully, she just spit it and it went down into the valley. Anyway, or that's the reason it's locked up. That push rod has gone in there and wound itself around something. I don't know. It's all a mystery right now. But I think these rockers are savable. And again, I wanted to save these because these are the high ratio rocker. This is actually a Mercury. And Mercury 312s have got a higher ratio. What that means is this end right here where the push rod goes is a little bit tighter this way. So it pushes the valve down more. So it opens it more. That's the secret to the reason the Mercury had a little more power than the Ford. It's almost like having a little bit of a cam in it. A little higher lift cam, but they do it with these. That's the reason I wanted to keep these. Okay? Now, some of the quirks on these old Y blocks, and this is their downfall. One of their major downfalls. The oiling system. They have a crazy, crazy oiling system on these things. Your oil comes up from the camshaft, the crankshaft, from the oil pump here. From your oil pump, it pumps the oil from the pickup tube through here, goes through these oil galleys. You can't hardly see them there, it's dark. But anyway, there's oil galleys, holes, like built-in pipes all over in the block. It goes around, it oils the crank, and then comes up and oils the camshaft. And then there's 2 galleys that shoot the oil up through, I believe it's this one. I'll have to look at the book when it gets here. It, like I said, it's on the way, but I'll give you the diagram out of the book of the oiling system and all that. This is just off the top of my head. This stuff could be wrong. But it comes up through one of these, pressurizes through this hollow rocker tube, and then, well, let's go back to this broken one here. It's easier to show you. See that little tiny hole right there? I hope you can see it. Anyway, the oil comes up through this tube and then just drizzles out onto all of this. And there's a hole on each one of them that it oils, and it kind of drips the oil down over everything and kind of makes everything oil. Well, the problem is this is a big tube, so the oil really isn't pressurized when it gets up here. It just kind of free runs down. And then it comes through here and goes through this little tube. And I could be wrong with this, but this tube looks wrong to me. I don't remember them going down this hole. I thought they went to a hole right here. Again, I'll have to check the book on it. But anyway, this one, when the oil comes through here, it comes up through here and then just kind of trickles down and oils the timing chain. It's just kind of a drip, 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 a controlled, semi controlled drip that keeps the timing chain oiled. On this side, does the same thing, but it drips down and oils the distributor side. And it just kind of free flows down. It doesn't work. uh, so there's a bunch of tricks that guys used to do back in the day. One of them, and it's probably the one I'm going to start with, try in the beginning, is you take this and you stick a coat hanger up inside this hollow tube and you smash the hell out of it, restricting it down to help pressurize this to get more oil flowing up in here to get more to spray out these little free run holes. The other one, and there's a guy on YouTube here. He goes by McTim, MCTIM. If you want to know anything about Y blocks, he's the man. He knows these things inside and out in 4 times to Sunday. And in fact, he races one out at Bonneville Salt Flats. And I believe he holds records out there he with these Y blocks. He's the master at them. Anyway, check him out, give him a like and a subscribe and all that. And if you really want to know how to get the most out of these things, he's the man. Anyway, he has a method that you take this out and he says throw it away. And then you tap this out and put a bolt, a little 1/4-inch bolt down in there. And it totally pressurizes this, turns these into sprinklers like a rainbird, and it just sprays the oil everywhere. And he says, and I trust him because he knows this stuff. He says you get enough splashback that goes back and oils your distributor and timing gear still. So I'm going to try the first method because I'm really scared of not getting enough oil on this. And I should trust that guy, but I'm also kind of, you know, looking at this whole project the way an old hot rodder would have been doing this in 1960, when before everything was figured out. Just hearing stuff here and there on them. That's kind of the approach I want to take on it. I want to force myself to learn it. And if I break it, I break it. That's kind of my outlook on this. So my first way is going to be to smash this, restrict it down. I'll put a piece of wire up in here and beat the hell out of it till it restricts, makes like an orifice to still get a little drain back onto there. If that don't work and I'm not getting enough oil up here, then I'll do McTim's method and I'll pull that out, throw it away, and I'll tap that and I'll pressurize that sucker and get as much as I can. They used to make a kit that you could buy that would reroute your oiling through the valley. And I mean, it was an awesome kit, but it's no longer offered. I seen that on Power Nation, or yeah, I think it was Power Nation. An old boy in there does it. He used to work on NASCAR engines when NASCAR was running these, and that was one of the tricks there. Uh, the other one, this is the Crankcase Breather. I know in the other one I called it a PVC. That was just a way that other people could identify on what it is. But this is the Crankcase Breather, which is what a PVC valve is now. On the 59, it's up here. On the 55, that I just so happen to have, well, that's my Studebaker. The I just sold that. That's a 232 that I just did a video on. But sad to say, but that poor girl's going away. On the 55, this is the crankcase breather. Goes through a filter and then down out through here. This is probably the one I'm going to keep running. It's all going to depend on space. And so I'll be using that valley pan because that's a sealed valley pan. If I get too much crankcase pressure, which I don't know, this is all mystery stuff to me, so I'll be learning it and I'll be showing you as I go on this on how I'm learning it. Anyway, in 55 they had it down here. 59 they moved it up top. And the other thing to look for on these old Y blocks, they make aftermarket crankcase ventilators. They go on your valve covers. And you cut a hole in your valve cover and you screw these things on. They're really cool looking, but they're kind of shaped like this with a mushroom kind of head on them. That's for your crankcase ventilation. I've learned that if you see them on an old engine, be careful of that engine. That's throwing that it's got a lot of crankcase pressure. And if it's got a lot of crankcase pressure, more than likely it's got compression going through the rings, and what it actually is blow by. And blow by is bad news. Anyway, that means that the cylinder walls, there's something's going on there that it's not sealing. The pistons aren't sealing against the cylinder walls. It could be because the cylinder walls are wore out, or something's going on there. And when it goes on down there, bad things happen to the pocketbook when you try to fix it. Anyway, that's where I'm at on this. I'm going to go ahead and stick those valve covers back on it now and get ready to take this up to the shop. And I'll show you my magic mystery juice that I'm going to pour down into it to help free up the valley. I don't have any more here. I've used it all up. I got to mix up another batch. But I'll show you my recipe for how to break parts, rusted out, nasty, seized up parts. I keep a bucket of it around here, but like I said, I've used up all of it up, so I got to make a new batch. Anyway, that's a little quick video on that. And again, you pull them valve covers and you see that nasty crap in there. Don't get discouraged. Like Dad said, they all look like that. It's because of the oil they used back then. Don't freak out. Anyway, meantime, keep that metal hot. We're all in this together, and I'm rooting for you, and I'm trying to think of things to say while I got greasy fingers trying to hit that off button. Good luck out there.